Hello guys, Marvin Thooks here once again. Let me tell you a quick story. I remember one time I went to this bass player called Mark Amo. He's a jazz bass player and a pharmacist as well. So as usual, I went to his house for some 1 or 2 tips on the bass guitar. And then somehow after eating we felt lazy and slept, and it was morning. So I went to knock at his door and I was like, oh Mark, hey bro Mark, I came to you to learn and now see what's up. It's morning and you have to go to work. And I was like, oh, you still want to learn? I was like, yeah, I want to learn. And he said, okay, go and plug the bass. And I was like, oh sure. So with all the enthusiasm and everything, I went to sit, took the bass, and then he came in and was like, you can groove, right? I was like, yeah, I groove. Okay, so groove on this. And then he played this. And then I was like, I waited for about 30 seconds. The chord hasn't changed. It's still the same thing. I was like, Ramak, are you sure this is what you are playing? Because just one chord. What do I do with it? And I was like, yes, groove. And I'm like, oh, how possible? And then he made a funny comment that and all that. So to cut the long story short, he taught me so many approaches to this, but the one that was dominant was Arpeggios. Okay, so I want to use this opportunity to explain how we as bass guitarists can use arpeggios. For God's sake, how on earth will we get one chord to play, to groove on? I still didn't understand until we finished the lesson he taught me. So I just felt like sharing that. Okay, so that's just by the way. Well, but it happens but I think the problem with it's not a problem. The reason why I found it difficult was because normally our songs, like the normal gospel songs, the normal songs around, we have changes in them. So maybe from 1 to 6 to 4 to 5, and the changes are plenty. So you can just, you know what I'm trying to say. But this one, the chord was just 1. So after that, I learned a great lesson, like a great deal of lesson from it. So I want to share. Okay, so I went to plenty. Let's go to arpeggios. What is an arpeggio? Arpeggio, in the dictionary, Google, I think they say it's playing the notes in a chord in ascending and descending order. So for instance, let's say a major 7th chord. Let's say C major. So C major is then arpeggio. That is it, basically. So now I'm coming to show you guys how you can practice the arpeggio effectively for it to work. Okay, so now this, at the end of the day, we are going to learn 3 patterns in 1 octave. How to play 3 patterns of the same major 7th arpeggio in 1 octave. Yes, so let's start with the first positioning. So first, let me say this is our thumb. Okay, this is our index finger or pointing finger, this is our middle finger, this is the ring finger, and this is the pinky. So don't get confused right now. So our first so our first pattern, okay, let's start with our index finger. So you play your do, your 1. So we are doing major 7th. So you play your 1, then your pinky plays the 3, which is the mi. Then your middle finger plays the 5, which is the so. And then your first finger plays your index finger, or your first finger, pointing finger, plays the B, the T, then back to your root octave. let me take it again. So I hope you can see. So and it's not advisable to stretch. Well, if you can stretch, that's fine, but if you can't stretch, you can play and then move, then your middle finger. So this is the first pattern, okay? And our advice, if you are learning arpeggios, okay, learn them as intervals, okay? So your root, major third, fifth, major seventh, then back to your octave. So okay, so the importance of this is that so that wherever you find yourself, if you know, okay, so this is an interval, this is a major third interval, and you know you are doing a major seventh, okay, so after the root, let me go to my major third. When you know the intervals, wherever you find yourself on the board, you can deliver. Okay, good. So that is the first pattern. Again. So make sure you get it. You get it? Good. So now let's go to the second pattern. Second pattern, we are starting with middle finger. Yes, middle finger. So we know this. This is as simple, okay, as ABCD. So your middle finger plays the 1, your index finger plays your major third, your pinky or your little finger plays the 5, your ring finger plays the 7. You get it? Then back to your 1 octave. Okay, that was just by the way. So 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so 1 major third, 5th, and then major 7th, back to octave. So you are supposed to practice it back and forth, ascending and descending. You can add them. Sorry. Okay, so this is in 1 octave. This is in another 1 octave. Get it? So now we have the first position and the second position. Now let's go to the third position. Third position, we're going to start with the last position. We're going to start with our pinky. Okay, so let's look for the C on the E string. So this is it. Okay, so now your pinky plays your 1, and then your ring finger plays your major third, and then your first finger. So your first finger or your pointing finger plays the 5. So let me take it again. So your last finger or your pinky plays the 1, your ring finger plays the major third, your index finger plays the 5, the 5th, and then your pinky again plays the 7. So then your your index finger plays the 1 again. You can decide to play this one or this one, all depends on you. So or depending on what you want. So let me take it for the last time. So your ring finger, then your pinky, ring finger, index, little finger, and then your root with your index finger again. So now that you have the 3 patterns, okay, what you do now is that you blend, like you play them together. You play all the 3 patterns, like you mix them. So for instance, you create your own pattern. You start with, let's say, the first position, the first pattern. Then after that you mix it with the second, and then you can end on the third. So for example, this is what I'm talking about. So this is the second. So you get it. I'm going faster, but it's up to you to sit down and figure it out. You can create as many as you want, any linkages you want to do. You can decide to do, this is the first position blend, then you can add the third position, because remember the third one, so T, so you can do, then back to your third position, so back to your first position. So what happens is that the moment you play the first position and you do this back to here, you realize that it appears this C is the same as this C. Then it means you can play whatever you were playing here too. So you get it. So you can play along on the board with all these 3 patterns we've learned today. But I encourage you to use a metronome. Don't start on, some people, when you tell them to use metronomes, they just go and start on 100 BPM and all that. No, start it very slow, 60 beats per minute. Then you move on 65, 70, 75, 80. Then you can see you are improving. Okay, so that is it. So now, how to practice how to practice it. Make sure you get a backing track, okay, of C major 7th. It's all over Google, YouTube, wherever. Just type C major 7th backing track plus drums. You don't even have to add plus drums. You get most of them with drums. So let me play the backing track I played in the intro, the one that I was given that I couldn't do anything on it. Okay, and let's see how I can use this too. Okay, so 1, 2, so first position, 3, 4, go. So second position, so I'm adding all of them. You get it, so you can keep practicing. As you are playing, you sing along. So you can even solo. If you're asked to solo, you can approach it this way. If you know what chord it is, you can approach it. So let's do some small solo. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is for major 7th arpeggio. Okay, so the next one will be minor 7th arpeggio, dominant 7th arpeggio, diminished 7th arpeggio. Okay, so those I will do that one, those ones too, to help you guys understand how I approach the arpeggios. Okay, so when we're done with that one, we'll put them together like we're going somewhere. So just relax, stay put. So make sure you practice till you get it. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Okay, thanks, bye.